Okay, I'm doing a Taurus reading for December 2019. This is a love tarot card reading, okay? Okay, the first card is the Prince of Wings in the reverse. This is the card of the challenger, okay? When he's in reverse position, he thinks that whatever he believes is correct, and he's more likely to put up a fight if you do not agree with him. So he's kind of being a difficult partner. Okay. The in the November readings for Taurus, the last card for the masculine energy was the Prince of Roses, and the Prince of Roses is the mover, I think. So he was in fiery energy, and now he's in air energy. The Prince of Roses, the mover, he's kind of a busybody a little bit, so he's kind of all over the place, okay? So this air energy, the challenger I just showed you, he is about information, and so he feels like some information he has is very important. It may be as important as he thinks it is, but it may not be. It depends on whatever situation you're dealing with your Taurian or with your partner, okay? So the next card is the Patience card, the Temperance card. And so it's telling this Taurian, if the Taurian is the Prince of Wings in the reverse, it's telling him to have patience and wait. Don't go after a female if that's what he's going after. Because the next card is the the Respect card, the Four of Roses card. Okay, so I had to find for you guys the female from the November reading, and the female for the November reading for Taurus signs is the Queen of Roses, which is the leader. Okay, so what happened in November is that the two signs that were, I guess, dating, it seemed like Taurus in November had like 3 different women, and then I'm not sure if one of the women's energy changed into the Queen of Roses, which is the leader, the card of the leader. So I'm not sure if Taurus was just busy, because I think in past readings Taurus didn't know who to choose, like he was juggling multiple love interests or something. And so maybe perhaps he narrowed it down to the Queen of Roses, which is the leader. And so, like I said, we have Prince of Wings in the reverse. So it'd be nice if he were upright. Maybe he'd be thinking clearly and on target. But when we're in reverse positions, sometimes we're exhibiting signs of, like, I wouldn't say personality disorders or anything, but just, when we're upside down, we're not always at our best. So right now in the Prince of Wings position, he's not at his best right now, okay? So he's a little bit hard to deal with, okay? And that's why he needs to exhibit some patience. He can't just approach a woman. If he's saying, I'm right, you have to listen to me. It's probably not the right time to approach a woman, because it's probably going to turn her off, cause argument, and cause problems, okay? So the next card here, since the Prince is in reverse position, this Four of Roses would say that they would make a good couple if they were to choose to marry. But because the Prince is in reverse position, meaning he's not in his best form, I wouldn't say marriage is a good idea right now. The Respect card here in this case might mean that they need to work on their differences. So they have to acclimate their personalities, okay? In order for them to get respect for one another, if marriage was on their mind. So the next card is the Five of Roses card, and this is a card of competition. So I guess, okay, the Queen was in fiery energy. The Prince in the last reading, he was also in fiery energy too, because he was Prince of Roses. So she was Queen of Roses and he was Prince of Roses, so they were both in fiery energy. And I guess fire signs maybe like to compete. So right now they are competing to see who is right. But the Respect card, as I explained to you a while ago, and this card here is about, I think probably both of them, the respect and competition. They have to learn how to respect one another, number one. Number two, in a love relationship, I'm not sure you can really compete. Like, I don't think competition and love work well together. So that may be my opinion. I'm not sure. But okay, the next card is the Eight of Roses. Because if you're in a relationship where you're competing with one another, then somebody might be sabotaging another, over talking, just different things that are not healthy for a relationship. And that's why relationships fall apart. So that's why I don't think competition in the relationship is healthy. It's one thing if both of you guys are competing to say, I can make more money than you, and you're building your family household income or something. But if you're competing saying, I'm right and you're wrong, submit to my authority, and I'm not going to listen to your opinion, that might be a little bit troublesome, because if you're doing that, you're not giving your partner a voice. You're maybe not considering your partner. So that's just my opinion so far. So this Eight of Roses card is about signals. So this card is about them saying, I love you, or something to that effect. It's about communicating their feelings to one another. And in this case, I'm not sure what their signals would be, because if they're in a love relationship and they're competing with one another, that may not be a good thing. So their signals may be, I don't like you very much, or I don't want to argue with you right now, something to that effect. I'm not so sure this would be an I love you message. Okay? Furthermore, we're in a Mercury retrograde period, so communication normally is kind of complicated and misunderstood. The card is not in the reverse, which I guess is good. So I'm really hoping that Taurus, you and your partner are like having a conversation that is helpful instead of competitive. So the next card here is the Justice card, and this is a card about truth. So it's almost like, I feel like I'm doing a counseling session. So it's like justice. You guys, if you cannot get it together individually, it's almost like you're going before someone else to help settle the matter. Who is right, who is wrong? This could be in the form of a divorce filed, or it could be in the form of a prenup filed. Like the Justice card, you guys could settle it on your own, okay? And if you learn how to communicate with each other, perhaps you can get along with one another, and you don't have to file any paperwork or anything like that, and everything works out, okay? The Justice card would cover that. But as I just stated, if you guys can't work it out together and you file for a divorce, I was looking at the November paperwork for you guys reading. It's very possible you guys were in an argument or something, because one person had multiple suitors. So you guys have to figure out what is going on in your situation, okay? But with Justice here, it's possible that you do work it out, so maybe a prenup is filed. That is dependent on your situation for you to figure out, okay? So the next card is the Princess of Wings. This is a card of the messenger. And I was trying to figure out, well, what could be the message that's sent? So when I looked at the other cards, I said, okay, I understand. I think it was a divorce that was filed, because so the messenger would have sent the paperwork to the other party and or to the judge or something like that. And now this is a whole month's reading, so I don't know if it would happen that fast. But the next card here is the Princess of Roses, okay? So remember, we were last dealing with the Queen of Roses in November, the last female character. The last female card was the Queen of Roses. So now this energy has been, I won't say diminished, it's been, I'm not sure if the energy is lower or just the burdens are lower. So instead of her being a queen, now she's a princess, okay? So in the Princess of Roses energy, instead of her being the leader, now she is the adventurer. That helps me to understand that she's been set free from a burden, and now she's free to wander on her own, because as the adventurer, she's out socializing, dating, making her guy friend laugh, just different things like that. So now she's being more immature, okay, in her energy. Now that does not have to have happened through a divorce. This could have happened through life circumstances that made you reconsider your position, and instead of being very, very proper, you kind of lightened up a bit and started to enjoy life more, okay? But I highly think that it has something to do with a separation or a divorce, because when you follow the next cards, you'll kind of notice what I'm talking about. So I don't know if the cards got in reverse position or something. Sometimes when the cards fall out, cards might jump out in different places. So I'm not sure if this card is out of position, but as far as I could tell, it's in the right position. So this Six of Shells card is the Joy card. And the Joy card is normally about children. And so in this case, if she was separated from her spouse or her partner, the Joy card could mean a childhood friend, or it could mean childlike joy. And considering that this princess, as the adventurer, she's like wandering about town. She's no longer having to be proper and, in my culture, they might say stush. She doesn't have to be stush or anything like that. She can be young, lighthearted, have fun, enjoy life, and be youthful, okay? So I think this is the princess's childlike joy, because she just released herself from a burden and now she's able to enjoy her life, okay? But it could also be a childhood friend, okay? Because the next card that comes up is the Devil card. It's the card of seduction, okay? And so you can understand why I was wondering if the Joy and the Devil card were in the wrong position. I was kind of wondering, because when the seduction come first and then the child might come next, but I don't think that's what happened. I think that her energy, I'm sorry for the beat. I think she's in childlike energy, and then when she was happy, somebody came and looked for her, okay? And like I said, this could just be her childhood friend also. So I think the cards are in the right position, so make of it what you want to in your situation, because I don't know what's going on in your situation. This is a general reading. So this is the Ten of Shells card. This is next. Success. Success in what? Is that what you're asking? Okay, so look. The seduction card came up and then we have success, okay? The reason why that happened is because she was seduced and the person was successful, okay? So I never really paid that much attention. Like a lot of times when the seduction card comes up, I'll just say, well, if you fell for it or something like that. In this case, we know for definite she did end up in a relationship with, I guess, a childhood friend or someone, okay? So the next card is the Nine of Roses. This is a card of habits, okay? Now something deep is going on, okay? Sometimes the people that we sleep with can deeply change us as people, okay? So she slept with somebody whose goal, I'm not sure if it's their goal. Maybe there was an ulterior motive, I'm not sure. But the person that she slept with is having an effect on her as a person, okay? Because this Nine of Roses card is about habits. And in this case, I'm going to put down the card. She is going from the Princess of Roses to the Queen of Wings, okay? Now, this is a big dramatic difference, okay? Princess of Roses, she's free and lighthearted and all is good. The Queen of Wings, very, very serious and conservative, okay? Something happened in between, and it's related to the person that she slept with, okay? So, let's see. So the habits card here means that she became very, very conservative. She became very proper. And so her habits became very, very much improved compared to how she was. Like, you know the difference between freedom, like freedom of just you being out and about in your home or whatever else, out on the road, at the mall, you know, but then there's a different behavior when you're at work. You have to behave in a proper sort of way and use good etiquette. So her habits changed from being free to be herself to being very, very proper, because she's trying to impress someone or appease someone. So again, this is the Queen of Wings, and now she is very, very independent. She is She's almost to the point right now where she can deal without a man unless it's the proper type of man. So now she became very, very picky, okay? And for some reason, when I think about this card, I always think about Virgo and energy. But this is an air sign energy, so this is like Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra energy. So I'm not sure if she's intolerant of men, but she's perfectly fine without a man unless he's like very, very, he has to be like tidy. He has to be truthful, and she just wants a specific type of man. Now she doesn't want a man to lie to her, or I'm not sure if cheat on her. I'm pretty sure not, because this woman, by the way, is divorced. Okay, so she doesn't really have a tolerance for foolish guys who are not going to respect her as a person, or are going to, I don't know, call her out of her name, something like that. She doesn't have time for those type of games, okay? She's pretty serious. So the next card is the Five of Gems card, and this is a card of anxiety, okay? So the relationship she was just in with the devil, it changed her so much now. So here she is a logical person, okay? And this is air sign energy. The air sign energy is like about intellect, okay? So, but this card is telling you you have to balance out your intellect and your intuition. So it's saying become more intuitive. So, rightfully so, she's in watery energy. Watery energy is a little bit more emotional. It's not as intellectual as the air sign energy. So this is the Four of Shells, and this is a card of reevaluation. And then I said, okay, what is she reevaluating? Like, I was lost on a couple cards, so I had to clarify. So the reevaluation card is clarified by the Fool card, which is taking a leap of faith, and the Two of Pentacles card, okay? And that's a card of juggling two priorities, okay? Or two lovers or something like that. So I think the Fool card is referring to, she took a chance with a new mate, with a new person. And so I'm going to keep reading the card. She's reevaluating. Should I have made that decision to go with this new person because it's changed me as a person? Do I regret it or do I not? So the next card is the Eight of Wings. And this is a card about indecision. So I was like, indecision about what? Because I didn't really know what was going on. So the cards that I got was the Nine of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. And the funniest thing is, before I even asked the question, the cards jumped out and they seem to have made sense. So the Nine of Wands is the Wounded Warrior card. So the relationship with the devil here caused her some a bruised ego. So the Wounded Warrior card here, and it did reward her with some money, but she's kind of trying to figure out, she's like, was it really worth it? Should I have made that decision? What's going on here? She's trying to figure herself out, like, what did I do? Do I regret it? Is it, she's trying to figure this out. So the next card is the Eight of Shells, and this is a card about sacrifice. So of course I had to say sacrificing what? Because I'm lost. I don't know what's going on. So a bunch of cards fell out when I don't even know if I got the question out again. So I don't know which order they fell out, okay? Because this card fell out and it was not in the stack, so I can't tell if this part came first or this part. So one of two things happened. Either she sacrificed, because remember, here she got 10 Pentacles, okay? The decision that she made gave her 10 Pentacles, and what else did it give her? It gave her probably a broken ego. Okay, so when she had to make a sacrifice, she either sacrificed one of her pentacles and gave it to this page, or she said, I don't think she sacrificed all 9 of her pentacles. I don't think that's what happened. So I'm just going to put this in the back. So the Page of Pentacles here For some reason, he got a pentacle. Maybe he's doing some work for her or something. The Three of Pentacles here, it's about like a work project. Let's see. It's about a work project and collaboration. Okay, this Four of Cups card is about like you're saying bye to one of your dreams. So she's losing out on something she wanted. The Empress card, she could have gotten pregnant along the way. Either she got pregnant or she's fixing up her house, but I'm just going to guess she got pregnant along the way. The King of Pentacles, maybe the King of Pentacles is the father or the childhood friend or the one in the devil energy. The Ten of Wands card, this is about being overburdened. So whatever she did, now she has a lot of burden on her shoulders to carry, okay? And then maybe this card was the last one that popped out. I couldn't tell the order. So I'm not sure if she gets to keep her 9 pentacles or it's flipped the other way. And the last pentacle she ended up with was just, which doesn't make sense because this is the page getting a pentacle. So I'm just going to think she sacrificed this 1 pentacle to the page. My purse just fell on the floor. And then she kept 9, but I'm not sure. Okay. So I don't need those cards anyway. I'm going to put back this card, the sacrifice card, back down. Okay. So we made a sacrifice. We weren't sure if we did the right thing. We made a sacrifice. I don't know why we're doing all of this. It's your reading. You figure it out. Okay, so the next card is the Princess of Gems. This is the card of the ingenue. The ingenue is a card of humility. It's kind of like being at one with your surroundings, with your environment. It's about like making do with your resources around you and being happy and content just in simple settings. Like, I don't know if I'm saying it right. You're not being overly particular and being very, very, let me see. You're not fussing about your wealth. You're just being content. Like if you go outside, it makes you happy to be in natural settings, I guess, okay? It's about being humble. It's not about being where everybody else is to impress everyone else, okay? So when you look at this is the Queen of Wings. She's logical, conservative. She knows herself, okay? The Princess of Gems, she's humble. So this is a process of becoming more humble, okay? So she's going away from her logic. I'm not sure if this Princess of Gems is more intuitive because the intuitive energy is more watery. But maybe for this Queen of Wings, maybe it is still more intuitive, okay? I'm not sure what happened, but there's a change in energy from one to the other. So now what happens is that this ingenue person, this person who's down to earth in her work, because a part of this card, in her work, she is very likely to meet a love interest in her work. So this card, the Emperor, is about the work, like your work environment. You're attracting a love interest through your work environment. So they kind of go hand in hand. So the Emperor is about power. And so he is interested in this princess, okay? And the Emperor is more mature than the princess, okay? So the next card is the King of Shells. Remember I said that the Queen of Wings here needed to combine her intuition with her logic. She's already logical, so she needed to be more intuitive. So I guess, I don't know if God does this, but then he put her with the King of Shells, who is intuitive. He's a visionary, okay? And if her partner is intuitive, I'm sure it's going to rub off on her in some way. So I'm not sure if that calms her anxiety or something to that effect. So right now we have these two paired, okay? So her experience with the devil energy, with the King of Pentacles, was the devil energy that she slept with. Now she's done a lot of transitioning, and now she's the Princess of Gems. Now she is here with a visionary, okay? And then what happens between them, we have love, okay? So I don't know if this is your story, Taurus, but this is what I got, okay? So I don't know if the Taurian is the king of shells. If he's a masculine, are you intuitive by the end of December? Because this is your December reading. And then if you're female, are you in earth energy? If you're female Taurian. So those are questions I'm asking of you. I hope whatever you're going through, you get sorted out. Thank you for listening to me. Please like, share, and subscribe, okay? All right, thank you for listening.